back with roaming Taipei and its environs. I've just come out of the gym and am going to grab a quick cup of coffee and then pick my wife up from work. So come along. I promise this series will become more interesting, so stick around and you're sure to see some things. Regarding the comment section for my Roaming Taipei series, I can't write responses. However, I will take them that are questions or just interesting, state who wrote and what the comment is, and respond during the next video. I think this will be a fun way to interact with you guys as you watch the scenes. And of course, I'll add my own comments regarding what you're seeing and my life here in Taiwan. On to the comments. William DeLong wrote, "Scooter sales look profitable, LOL." Yes, scooter sales are brisk, no question about it. Short Fuse 43 wrote, "Wow, I would hate to have to drive a car there. With all the motorbikes whipping in and out and around, I would sideswipe one first time out." Well, for sure, driving a car with all the motorbikes is nerve-wracking. I think the key is no sudden movements. Shane K. wrote, "Is there a ladyboy section of town like in Ho Chi Minh City? LOL." No ladyboy section that I know of, but I get my kicks above the waistline, sunshine. An obvious reference to One Night in Bangkok. Gary Houston asks, "No lockdown there?" Nope, no lockdown here in Taiwan. Taiwan was very proactive early on and was very wise to what was going on in China. Deemed Appropriate asks, "Is there a lot of road rage there?" No, actually much less than you'd imagine. Eric Morris and Company writes, "I'm always afraid of scooters on my right when I turn right." Yeah, I understand completely what you're saying, and that's why I always stay as close to the right side as I can whenever making a right-hand turn, to try to make sure no one can sneak in between. Brian Neely writes, "I don't think you could ever do that here in the States, and possibly any Anglo-centric nation, without protests and bitching." Yes, I think it would be hard to do this in a Western country that is ride scooters the way we ride them here. For example, here lane splitting is accepted. Doug Alexander asks, "How long did it take to learn how to drive like a local?" I would say it took me a good year, maybe 2 years, to get used to driving like a local. Veteran Iron and Wood writes, "Can't wait to see what it's like during the week." Yeah, I think some of the rush hour traffic you'll see in future videos should be eye-opening. Jim Talbot asks, "Do those come with umbrellas for the rainy season?" I think he's referring to scooters, and I would say no, most people wear rain gear, but I have seen modified scooters with canopies. Alright, pit stop for a good cup of joe. They really make a mean latte. George Calcé writes, "My wife and I both rode scooters for 7 years, but not like that. I would never make it out of a parking space there." Well, I think if you lived here for any length of time, your driving habits would change, and you'd become a lunatic as well. This is always a hairy intersection. Since it's only one lane in either direction, I can make a left-hand turn without doing that kind of a substitute turn, but there's so much traffic, buses and the like on this road, that it's always a little bit nerve-wracking. Shake Your Booty asks, so how many bodies allowed on a scooter and at one time while moving? Well, the law is no more than 2, but I've frequently seen 3 and 4 people on one scooter. And so if you stick around and watch this series enough, you'll definitely see that. HWPCville wants to know if streets are reversible when traffic volume warrants it. And yes, on some major roads, they do reverse the flow of traffic in order to accommodate for the heavier rush hour times. Wingnut Bert writes, wow, this is a lazy weekend. Can't wait to see rush hour. Well, you're sure to see some stuff on these streets that's more real than a heart attack. Dave Snow writes, we have a similar mix of cars and motorcycles in Chiang Mai. I'm glad you're safe and healthy. Yes, Taiwan is very safe, and I wish you and everyone the same. Tim Wheeler says his son wants to know if there are a lot of car accidents here. He's 9. Yes, there are a lot of accidents, but fewer than you'd think. William Kuna writes, wow, I would have a nervous breakdown. Well, I've had my share. Right now, I'm crossing a bridge into a district known as New Taipei City, still part of the greater Taipei metro area. Taipei is a city surrounded by rivers and with loads of bridges, and not one of them has a toll. By contrast, I grew up in the greater New York area on Staten Island, and crossing bridges or going through tunnels, you have to mortgage your home. Or as my dad often says, I just want to cross the bridge, I don't want to buy it. Gas Engine Guy writes, Glenn, seems like some rules don't apply. Well, you're very much correct. But the one unwritten rule that does apply is the bigger guy always goes first. Ron Seitz writes, Glenn, it was amazing how little horn blowing there was. Well, I think you just caught it on a good day. There definitely is horn blowing. And for the last comment I'll cover, JF writes, Earth is a better place when we have differences, as long as there is peace. Do you ever miss the USA? Well, as I get older, I prefer peace. And I do miss the good old US of A. Live and let live. I'll stop in at the Riverside Park here and drink my coffee. Alright, time to pick up the boss. Notice the concrete wall, or what is a dike, to my left. Most of Taipei and its surrounding area is protected by dikes. Notice this massive floodgate. Now you can see I'm on the other side of the dike wall in what is New Taipei City, or what I call New Jack City. Notice the motorcycle in front of me has a red license plate. They divide the scooter and motorcycles into white, yellow, and red. White is, I think it's 250 cc's and below, and above 250 up to 550 is yellow, and above 550 is red. There are different rules that apply, and also there's different license even. So I need to make a left-hand turn on this main road, so I need to do this alternative or substitute turn. That scooter that just pulled up on the left there with the tail light on is all electric, called a Gogoro. It actually sounds like some monster from a Godzilla movie. And you see this one here is also a Gogoro. They've become very, very popular, and like I said, they're all electric, and there's absolutely no gas engine scooter or motorcycle that could beat them off the line. They accelerate so quickly. The overhead structure in front of me there with the yellow columns is the newest MRT, or Mass Rapid Transit line. So, Taiwan just has an ever-expanding subway and overhead rail line system. This area is still semi-industrial, and it has a lot of recycling plants. That woman pushing the cart is obviously heading to one of these recycling centers. I think I might do my next video in rush hour traffic. Maybe after I pick up my wife one day. Well, that's all for now. Catch you guys next time.